I'm gonna go through the 4 elements of the real success formula. This is something that we use with our clients too. It's also a formula for your personal growth and development, okay? So let's jump right in. Achieving real success. How do we integrate the 4 elements of the real success formula? And maybe you've seen some of my posts. And chances are that you are a little bit like me, that you want to do more, be more, experience more, impact more, achieve more. But there's a challenge there, right? You run out of day before your to-do list is done. And I know that was me. And so why is that? Because so many times I hear this, well, I wish there were more hours in the day. I wish I was able to do more. And I feel this very, very much when, I have to pick up my son at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I know that I have things that I should have done and I haven't done them. And that's a sign for me that I was actually not intentional about my days. Because here's what I know. Your success is determined by your daily agenda. Your success is determined by your daily agenda. And so if we want to grow, if we want to develop, if we want to become the best version of ourselves, we need to be intentional. We need to be intentional about it. We need to be intentional about the areas that we focus on and how do we spend our time and what do we do with our days for us to become successful and for us to apply this real success formula. So what makes me talk about this, why me? Well, there was a time in my life when I lived more or less on autopilot, if you like. There were things that were put in front of me. I wouldn't use a calendar. I wouldn't schedule things on my agenda. And if someone would ask me, Florian, can we meet at this time on that day? And if there was nothing in my agenda, I will definitely say yes. Most likely I will say yes. And so what happened is that there was other people actually setting the agenda for me. When I was leading my team, I didn't really put intention and a lot of thought into how did I spend my day. There were some meetings, I will be called into the meetings and I will go attend those meetings. And at the end of the day, I had things that I haven't done. So I didn't really put a lot of thought into how I spend my time. I was more or less passenger. I was not so intentional into develop myself in these 4 areas. But when I started to integrate some of the principles I shared with you today, things started to change. Because when I learned about the real success formula, that's something that John Maxwell wrote about, and there are actually 4 little books like for each of the areas. So you're going to have a relationship 101, attitude 101, equipping 101, and leadership 101. And so going through those little books, I realized that there are some things that I don't do well, and I made some shifts. So before I made these shifts, I struggled. I was one of those people that had high aspiration. I want to do more, reach more, but I didn't have the time. I felt that I ran out of day before I was due with my to-do list. That was because I was probably focusing on the wrong things.